Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, I gotta say, this is a little bit of a weird situation. This is interesting. You know, a little bit of a vague hypothetical here. Let's say you were part of this political campaign, and that campaign just lost horribly in a crushing, embarrassing, probably pendulum shift moment election loss. And not only were you part of that campaign, but you were a big part of why they lost. You were a senior in the, let's call it, propaganda arm of the campaign. Yeah, do you think if you were that person that you would show your face and announce to the world how proud you are of the work that you've done? Yeah, probably not, right? Well, this is where this video gets interesting. We've been covering the Kamala HQ account, the most dishonest, probably worst account in X or Twitter history. Well, the senior intern that ran the account just went public announcing to the world how proud she is of the work that she did and gave us a little bit of an insight into what's going on behind the scenes here, which I think is quite interesting from a political analysis perspective. Let me show you guys exactly what I got for you. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Okay, so obviously we're talking about the complete dumpster fire that was the Kamala HQ account on X. Nothing but lies and propaganda 24/7, cutting clips completely out of context. I mean, it was almost impressive how bad that account was. Well, here's the person who ran it.
Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Cap and I ran the Kamala HQ TikTok.
Let's get a few things out of the way. I've been seeing your comments.
First up, we did have 2 Gen Z interns behind the account and 3 Gen Z staffers. I was the oldest on the account at the age of 25. It has been so much fun creating content for you guys on this platform and seeing all of the hope and joy. And while the election results didn't go our way, there is so much work that needs to be done. Now, I will be the first to admit that I felt incredibly numb after the election results came in. I will never forget waking up the next morning at 5 a.m. to a phone full of messages saying, "I'm sorry, Lauren." But as the vice president said during her concession speech, sometimes the fight takes a while, and that does not mean that we won't win. So now is the time to get even more involved, and we have to mobilize and organize and get ready not only for the 2026 midterms, but the 2028 cycle. I'm going to start posting on here more. I know I'm sorry it's not Kamala HQ, but it's up to us guys to hold Donald Trump and Republicans accountable, and we need to do it together.
Hi everyone, my name is Ethan Kelly, and I was the intern that helped run Kamala HQ this election. It has really taken me a while to find the words to convey my true appreciation for being able to be involved with this election. This election felt like it was the first time that we saw members of the Democratic Party really start to listen to young people and really trust us in reaching people where they are. The team behind Kamala HQ was extraordinarily young, especially given its impact and reach across the country. I'm 21 years old and I'm Gen Z, and there was no one on my team older than 25. In fact, it's my boss, Lauren, who is the oldest member of Kamala HQ, who is 25 years old. Now, I really felt like I learned so much and was able to have such a major impact, especially from the role as an intern. This is the last screenshot I have from the account on the day of the election. We hit 5.3 million followers, and it's crazy to think about, but when I started in May, we had just under 250,000. Now our work is not done. 2025 and 2026 and 2028 even are right around the corner. And no matter how hard it is, we can't stop fighting.
Yep, that's a publicly released video from the person who claimed to run the account, and they seem proud to admit it. But the most interesting insight was this one part here.
First up, we did have 2 Gen Z interns behind the account and 3 Gen Z staffers. I was the oldest on the account at the age of 25.
She claims that she was the oldest person on the team, so essentially the Democrat Party gave away their biggest, let's call it, information influence engine away to a bunch of kids and said just run with it and be as dishonest as you want. That's completely insane. I mean, this account was nothing but a propaganda machine. I don't think it was an account that inspired people. I think it was an account that insulted most people's intelligence. And so now we have very interesting insight into the strategy of the Democrat Party here. You know, because I don't want to get locked in and focused on this one Kamala HQ account because it goes so much beyond that. We're not talking about just one cringe account. You got to look at the entire apparatus. This is what the strategy was. Just give money to a bunch of kids, a bunch of online influencers, and even create some influencers with some of the actors that they hired, like Harry Sisson and the other so-called army of influencers that were essentially used to pump out pre-packaged content. They created a totally inorganic fake reality, let's call it. These weren't organic voices speaking up. They had an army of young puppets who were paid to parrot the Democrat talking points as they created this fake allure of coolness too, you know? Oh, we're the social influencers. Listen to us, Joe Biden's the greatest. He sniffed my hair and everything. It was fantastic. The Democrats thought that they could lie their way into controlling the next generation. They thought a Kids Bop style campaign on TikTok would trick young people into voting for them.
I love your daughter. What do you have to offer? Nothing. Only this.
You know, how cringy is that? They thought that that would work and that people wouldn't be able to see through Kamala HQ that essentially served nothing but deception. Well, how'd that work out? I'd argue so frickin' badly that if I was the person behind the Kamala HQ disaster, or if I was one of these social influencers for Kamala, I probably wouldn't show my face ever again. Because obviously it didn't work. It backfired big time. And we know exactly why. Because the young men of America, those same young men that Democrats thought that they could gaslight into submission, saw right through it, and instead they became politically active and shifted to the right decisively. In other words, the Democrats' worst nightmare, the exact young men that they thought that they could manipulate with TikTok trends and feel-good propaganda, well, those exact men said, enough is enough. And in the last election, they showed up, made their voices heard, and possibly changed the game here. I think the Democrats are in way more trouble than people think, because this last election, in my view, completely changed the game. Trump's victory here wasn't just a political win, it was yet again, just like 2016, another cultural shift. And the one thing that's getting exposed probably more than anything else is the left wing's, let's call it Hollywood style, these superficial campaign tactics that they use as a hopeful distraction from the truth. The Democrats are the fakest, most performative party in history. And that's exactly what Harry Sisson represents. It's what these young kids at Kamala HQ represent. It was all a con to get elected. And now it's in the trash heaps, essentially where it belongs. Oh, this glorious photo. I mean, I just needed an excuse to put this photo on screen. In the dumpster, along with every other lie that they tried to sell. The people in general aren't falling for it anymore. The Democrats attempted to build a fake world of influencers. They tried to use actual propaganda campaigns, and it all failed miserably and got completely exposed. They thought nobody would notice, but people did. They thought flashy edits, celebrity endorsements, and cringe TikTok dances could replace real policies and actual substance. How completely insane is that? It's almost something out of Idiocracy. But the pandering, the lies, the propaganda, the cheap tricks, in my view, could set them back the next two election cycles. Another one of those Democrat miscalculations that's totally backfired in their face, from the impeachments to the indictments to now the dismissal of the intellect of the general population as if people are stupid. Well, they've now woken up the Goliath. A wave of enlightenment is hitting the entire country. People have realized that the Democrat Party is pretty much as fake as it gets. Congratulations. Enjoy the participation trophy for working at Kamala HQ. It's obvious the left learned absolutely nothing. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.